Today we did get a new greatest era set, man. I don't know why 2K went back to this stupid Tuesday style of packs, but we did get a set, so I do need to go over the new snipe filters for you guys, man. Not that many good ones except for a couple that I found that are absolutely crazy. Let's just get right into the filters, man. The first filter we're gonna go over is the greatest era cheapest filter, man. For this, you want to put your theme to greatest era. You want to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest card on your console. Greatest era card. On Xbox, it's Kenny Anderson. It could probably vary between a few different cards, man. On this filter, you can literally see every card from every greatest era drop, which is like 5 pink diamonds, maybe, I think 5, 6 perhaps. I haven't done the exact math, but there's some pink diamonds on here, including the 2 that dropped today. And then there's a ton of diamond cards. A couple of them are actually still snipes, man, like at 100k, like Jack Marin, Derek Coleman. There's no buyouts for him. I'm not sure if he's a snipe still. I heard he's not on PlayStation, but I did just recently in the last week see him selling for a snipe on Xbox. So I don't know, check his price so you know if you should grab him at 100k or whatnot. But regardless, if you see him for 76,000, which is what I have my buyout set for, you're gonna go ahead and buy him and then post him up for a bid, or just throw him back up for 100k and stack up, you know, 12,000 MT profit. So right now I would absolutely work a scroll because of the more expensive and the pink diamonds on here. So greatest era theme, and you're gonna raise your maximum buyout up. You see how my buyout's at 76,950, but the cheapest card up is 65,000. Anytime this happens, guys, you don't want to just put your maximum buyout to 65,000. If you can raise your buyout out, always check, man, because look, if I can raise all the way up to 76,950. As soon as I hit 77,000, it turns into a 2 scroll, which honestly isn't even bad because this one's after the 4-hour mark, I guess only for another 4 minutes. But so you want to raise your buyout up as much as it can and just keep it on a working good scroll. So I'm going with 76,950. If any of these cards pop up for like 50k and below, 55k and below, buy them. Obviously the cheapest diamond price right now is like 23,000 on Xbox, man. So anytime you can work a higher tier, higher priced cards of the same tier, it's usually a great filter to work, man. Filters have been dry. Nobody rips these packs on Tuesdays, so I try to work with what I got for you guys, man. And I would be spending some time on this filter today if you are trying to snipe. The next filter we're going over is very similar, and it's a little bit better depending on how you like to snipe, man. Not gems of the game, greatest era theme again, man. On this one, you're just gonna put your minimum buyout to 500. It's low-key a bit of a scroll, but it's really not even bad. This darn Latrell Sprewell kind of just messed us up. Obviously, this one's 77,000. The only other one up is 90,000. So literally could risk it and get some profit there, but I'm not gonna do it. For this, man, you want to refresh on here. Obviously, you're looking for any of these cards to pop up for about 50,000 MT and below. Buy them. If you see any of the pink diamonds pop up, buy them. If you see Jack Marin pop up for any price, buy him. I assume he's still a sniper. I haven't watched him end in a few days, so I guess if you guys have seen him not selling for a snipe, check that depending on your console. As always, check the prices of what I'm talking about. But I believe Jack Marin definitely said he was selling for like 250k just last week. So I assume he's still a snipe, but I haven't seen him end recently. So be careful on that, I suppose. But really, you're looking for any of the pink diamonds to pop up. You can see any greatest era card for any price point on this scroll, man. So if they pop up for 100k, you're going to be able to see the pink diamonds for 100k. You're going to be able to see any of the other expensive diamonds for 100k that I'm forgetting about. There might be 2 or 3. I'm not exactly sure, guys. I don't spend much time on these greatest era cards because these have not been the best set drops, but this is a great filter. The scroll is not bad to literally just have your min buyout at 500 and see every card on the filter for every price, man. So if you're okay with a scroll, which I have been this year, I've been going to up to like 6 scrolls low-key. I haven't really noticed it affecting me. This could be a great option for you to work greatest era cards. The next filter we're going over is the Amethyst cheapest filter. Yes, guys, this is still a great filter. One of the best low-key, man. You want to put your color to Amethyst, raise your maximum buyout up to 69,000. I meant to say to whatever the cheapest card on your console is. On Xbox, it's going for about 6,800. You can go ahead and find cards for 6,850. Apparently, the one for 6,800 sold. So I would work the 2 scroll, man. You can put your buyout 50 MT cheaper if you don't want to work a 2 scroll, but you do want to scroll on here just to get the best cheapest options available, man. I don't know if Shay is a snipe at that price. I haven't worked Amethyst filter in a couple days since it was like 5k. Shay, yeah, no, not a snipe at 6,200, man. Y'all can have that. So you want to go ahead and scroll on the cheapest Amethyst, so that way you can see any of the Amethyst gems of the game cards, any of the more expensive Amethysts. Obviously there's a ton of them. We got 2 of them on Friday. They are more expensive. They're going for about 15k, 12k, something like that, man. So you want to go ahead and buy those if they pop up for any price point on the scroll you're working. Any Amethyst gems of the game cards are snipes 4, 6, 7,000, whatever price point you're working on. Know your Amethyst market, obviously, and then any of these other cards, Shays, Jokic, Tatums, man, grab them for about 5k and below, 4,800 if you really want to make sure you're safe. But they're on their way. They're just kind of staying around this price point for right now until we get dropped on Friday. So you could grab them for 5 and sell them for 65. No, definitely get them for 5, man. Forgot that this Shay is just a random 6,200 that'll sell pretty soon. So grab them for 5 and sell them for 6,750 is what I would be posting all of mine for. The next filter we're going over is the diamond cheapest filter, very similar to Amethyst cheapest. Put your color to diamond, scroll your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest diamonds on your console, which on Xbox right now are going for about 25,000 MT. They were just down. There was one up for an hour at 21,400 on Xbox, so I would definitely suggest you don't buy any diamonds except for the more expensive ones over like 15,000. Like any of these Raymond Feltons, Greg Monroe, man, grab them for like 15k, maybe 15,500, just because this price point has been kind of going all over the place. Good filters, usually one of the better filters on these stupid greatest era drops because the lowest cards on the set are diamonds. However, they are very hard to pull, man. So spend some time on here. Obviously snipe any of the more expensive cards. Some of the price point on Friday, I told you that all of the like older diamonds were still staying around 50. They have dropped down to around 30,000 MT. So you still got to be, you can't just grab anybody that's not Raymond Felton or Greg Monroe, because they did drop a little bit. So know your diamond market, guys. Always check the pricing, man. Grab these cheaper ones for 15,000, 15.5k and below and resell for profit. And then if you get any of the good ones, like any of the greatest eras pop up for any price point, man, buy them as quick as possible. The next filter we're going over is a little bit of a confusing one. I haven't put this in any filter video yet this year. So usually I really like this filter. It's just confusing, and I have to drop it today because it's absolutely insane, man. This is kind of like the enabled filter. You don't set any color, no theme, no nothing. Right now on Xbox you can work this filter. This is, I call it the max bid filter, man. On Xbox you can work this with a maximum bid of 550 and a minimum buyout of 15,050. Check this scroll out. It's a 2 scroll with no cards above the 4-hour mark, so it's technically no scroll. On this filter, guys, you can see every card in the game. Obviously your pricing will need to be different depending if you're on PlayStation and whatnot. Usually what you do on this filter is you set your maximum bid to 500, which means you won't see any card that pops up unless it has a bid of 500, which does happen a lot, by the way. Maximum bid of 500, and then usually you bring your buyout up to 100,000 and you can snipe any cards that go up with a max bid of 500 and a buyout of 100k. It's a great like enabled all filter basically. However, right now on Xbox, 15,000 buyout, which means you can literally like crazy, bro. Any card in the game that gets thrown up for a 500 with a max bid of 500, or like I said, I was able to raise my max bid up to 550, you can snipe. So that means if I see any diamond, it's profit, assuming it's at 15,000, obviously, right where I'm seeing it at. Normally you can't see these cheaper cards, but you can snipe any of the cards from the set today. The greatest era cards are all expensive. If they pop up for 20k, whatever they pop up for, that's profit. With this filter, I do want to say you do need to know your market very, very well, because every single card in the game can pop up for any kind of price point on here, man. So you got to be locked in, you got to be cautious, but just the amount of cards you can snipe on here for stupid cheap and see every single card in the game on this filter is insane. So if the snipe pops up and it's got a 500 max bid, you will see it and you can snipe it, which is just makes, I'm going to be working this filter today. Needless to say, man, that's crazy that we can have it all the way down at 15,000 bid. If you guys are on PlayStation and you guys have more cards and whatnot, put your max bid to 500 and raise your minimum buyout up until you're working a workable scroll. Might be 100k, might be 80k. You always just want to leave this and you get this as low as possible so you can see cards for as many different pricings as possible. The next filter we're going over is the Southwest division, which honestly I think is my favorite high-end filter, where you don't need to enable no color, no theme, no nothing. You want to set your division to Southwest, and on Xbox you can get away with just raising your minimum buyout. You don't have to worry about minimum bid. Guys, I talk about this all the time, so I apologize if you're always in here and I'm saying the same stuff over and over again. I just got to make it clear for everybody. On Xbox, minimum buyout works, which is always better than having to raise your minimum bid. If you're on PlayStation, you might need to lower your minimum buyout to 500 and raise your minimum bid up to 100k to be on a working scroll. But right now on Xbox, man, Southwest Division minimum buyout 90,050 is a decent working scroll. We just got another Jalen Green up here that just kind of ruined it. That's tough, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise mine up to 100k. Right now this DeRozan drops off if you raise your minimum buyout to 100k, but prior to getting this Jalen Green up, it was worth it. So we're gonna go ahead and raise us up to 96,450. That card should sell pretty quickly, hopefully, and then we can be on a working decent scroll here with DeRozan at the end. You can put it up to 100 if you want, just to not have DeRozan, and then it's a 3 scroll. It's really not bad. On this, man, you can see Wemby, you can see so many darn pink diamonds, man. It's just crazy the amount of pink diamonds you can see. I don't even know, but like I said, I talk about it in all my filter videos. It's one of my favorite filters right now, but there's like 6, 7, 8 pink diamonds on here perhaps, and then a few diamonds like Jaren Jackson Jr. You've got there's another diamond, Russ. I think Wilt is on here as well. Steve Francis apparently is now on here, which makes this even better. I didn't even notice that. Huge dub, man. So spend some time on this filter if you're trying to get a high-end snipe. This is probably what you would have to do on PlayStation and even on Xbox if you wanted to. Obviously a 1 scroll is better than what we were working with, but in my opinion, having no max bid and my buyout up higher is favorable, working the 4 scroll or whatever it was over just having a 1 scroll and only being able to see cards for 100,000. The next filter we're going over is the power forward filter. This is another high-end filter, man. You can put your color to diamond if you really want to, but it's so much better if you just leave it power forward, raise your minimum bid up to 100,000 and put your minimum buyout to 500. You got a not bad scroll, man. A little 3 scroll, and then you can see the whole filter after 5 cards. Not bad at all. There's a tons of cards you can see on here. Obviously you're only seeing cards if they pop up for 100,000 like we were just talking about, but it's really not bad. If you put diamond, that gold would drop off, so it's really better to work this. Lots of cards on here to snipe, like Paulo. You got Giannis, Jermaine O'Neal obviously is going to be a snipe. Derek Coleman, again, we talked about him earlier. Not sure if he's going to be a snipe still. Obviously Julius Randle is not. There's a lot of cards that are not snipes, but there's a ton of options on here that you can snipe and make a ton of profit, man. So spend some time on this filter. Al Harrington is no longer a snipe, by the way, guys, so do not grab that card if he pops up. Very similar filter, man, is center filter. Same exact situation. Obviously you have Wemby on this filter, man. You want to put your position to center, raise your minimum bid up to 100,000, put your minimum buyout to 500, and just keep refreshing. You can buy these 2 gold cards, obviously, and send them to your collection to enable them, but it's not even worth it with waiting for the pending system and all that. But spend some time on this filter and you will get a lot of good snipes that can pop up. Obviously, if you put in the hours, man. Tuesdays usually pretty dry, but you got Victor, JJJ, Moses, Chet, who's definitely still a snipe. Somebody told me Ronnie is a snipe again, like selling for 190k. I don't know. I don't believe that. Make sure you guys see that with your own eyes. You got Jokic, Miles Turner, Dwight. Don't think is a snipe. He's kind of been hit or miss, so be careful with that. Artis Gilmore. I mean, there's tons. This is what competes with the Southwest Division for my favorite non-enabled filters. So spend the time on one of these, man. Hopefully you get lucky and get a crazy pink diamond to pop up. That would be insane. And the last filter we're going over, guys, is the pink diamond filter, man. 33 pink diamonds, I believe, in the game now, man. We're gonna have an enabled, a card that's a pink diamond as a buyout really soon, man. Probably on Friday. So hopefully this filter will start getting hotter when you can work like a pink diamond enabled and just buy the 1 card that's a buyout. So we'll see about that. But right now, everything is a snipe. Color pink diamond. Put your minimum buyout to 500 and just keep refreshing and refreshing and do your best not to fall asleep, man. Every time I work this filter, I'm like falling asleep heavy. But people are getting pop-ups on this, man. Like every day there's pop-ups on here, so spend some time in here. Hopefully you get lucky and you get a crazy snipe, man. That's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, man. If you did, smash that like button for me. I would appreciate it. If you guys want to see snipe challenge we dropped on Sunday, man, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.